My name is Susan Miller. I'm 21 years old, working as a salesgirl in a department store. I don't earn much. My mother died when I was little, so my father is all I have left. But he's very sick and can't work anymore. Every night I hear him coughing through the thin walls of our small apartment. Every week we need to buy more medicine we can barely afford. I wasn't just tired in my body. I was tired deep in my soul. I wanted something better, something different. One afternoon, an elegant woman walked up to my counter. She wore beautiful pearls and smelled like expensive perfume. Her name was Mrs. Elizabeth Warrington. She studied me carefully for a moment before speaking. "You're beautiful," she said, "but you look so sad. I can change your life if you let me." My heart started racing. She leaned closer and explained her offer. "Join us," she whispered. "We help lonely, wealthy men find companionship. You marry them, stay for a while, then leave. You'll receive a lot of money." My stomach turned cold. "That's wrong," I told her. She glanced at my worn shoes and trembling hands. "Is watching your father suffer any more right?" she asked. That night I sat beside my father's bed, watching him sleep. His face looked so thin and pale. I cried quietly in the darkness, feeling completely helpless. The next morning I called Mrs. Warrington and said yes. They transformed me completely. New clothes, a new hairstyle, even a new name. I became Sophie. Mrs. Warrington and her partners taught me how to walk, how to smile, how to make a man feel special and desired. They trained me like an actress preparing for a role. The first man was 55 and desperately lonely. I pretended to care about his stories and laughed at his jokes. He married me within months. When we divorced, I received enough money to send my father to better doctors. The second man was elderly and gentle. He just wanted someone to hold his hand and listen. When he passed away that winter, he left me everything. My father moved into a nicer house with proper heating and good medical care. He started smiling again, but something inside me was dying. I stopped feeling like a real person. I became just a mask, a performance. The gang controlled my every move. When I tried to refuse assignments, they threatened me. One terrible night, after they treated me like nothing, I broke down completely. I didn't go home. Instead, I went to a nightclub and drank until I couldn't think straight. I wanted to forget who I'd become. Men surrounded me in that dark, loud place. But I remember one clearly. He gently pulled me away from the crowd. "Sit down," he said calmly. "Drink some water." That's all he did. I woke the next morning in an unfamiliar bed, my heart pounding with fear. Then I smelled coffee brewing. He appeared in the doorway with a gentle smile, carrying toast and eggs. "Good morning," he said. "You were safe here all night." His name was John. He hadn't touched me. He didn't ask uncomfortable questions. He just gave me breakfast like my well-being actually mattered. I started crying while eating and couldn't stop. We talked for hours that morning. I didn't tell him my whole truth, but for the first time in years, I didn't lie either. We began meeting regularly after that. Being with him made my chest feel lighter. He wasn't wealthy, just an ordinary hard-working man with simple dreams. He wanted a small house and a family someday. With you, he told me one afternoon, I feel completely comfortable. Nobody had ever said anything like that to me before. At first, I didn't report him to Mrs. Warrington, but when John mentioned he was saving money and making good plans for our future, my old training kicked in. I told the gang about him, hating myself even as I did. But something was different this time. Every Friday, we walked through the park together feeding birds. Every Sunday, we watched old movies and shared popcorn. He'd gently touch my hair and whisper that I made his life better. Slowly, my heart began to change. For the first time, I didn't want money. I wanted real love. One evening, John took my hands in his. I want a future with you, he said seriously. A real home, maybe even children someday. Tears filled my eyes. I wanted that too, more than anything. I went straight to Mrs. Warrington the next day. I want out, I told her firmly. I love him. Her expression turned ice cold. If you don't take his money, she threatened, we'll tell him everything. Your fake identity, your previous marriages, all your lies. I felt trapped like a bird in a small cage with no way out. One quiet night, we were lying in bed watching a movie together, his arm wrapped around me protectively. The weight of my secrets became unbearable. I have to tell you something, I whispered. Then I told him everything. The whole ugly truth. The room fell silent. His smile faded completely. His eyes filled with sadness and confusion. He said nothing for what felt like forever. Then slowly he picked up his pillow and blanket, stood up, and walked to the other room. The door closed softly behind him. I felt like my heart stopped beating. When morning came, I reached across the bed for him. It was empty. His clothes were gone from the closet. There was no letter, no message, nothing at all. I collapsed onto the floor and cried harder than I ever had in my life. The tears wouldn't stop coming. My chest ached like someone had broken it wide open. I had deceived many men before without feeling anything, but John was the only man I had ever truly loved. And I lost him forever because of my own choices, because I had become a woman built entirely on lies.